Okay, we're going to just quickly create a broadcast. And in order to do that, we want to create a brand new campaign. So we just go right over to our list inside Mystic Mailer on the left-hand side and choose campaigns. We have two different kinds. We have an autoresponder and we have what's called a regular type of campaign. Regular type of campaign is send it at each particular time, and you can even queue it up for a specific day and time to go ahead and do that. So just click Create New. And let's just go step by step. The campaign name, just something for me to remember. This is, let's see, let's just do this. Testing for tutorial. And it's a regular campaign. I can add it to a group or not. If I choose to add it to a group, what I could do is, for instance, I could group them up based on client or based on subject or what have you. And in order to add or subtract groups, you would do that right over here on the left-hand side where it says groups. I'm going to go ahead and choose my test subscribers just so that I can go ahead and do this. And if I have already segmented those folks inside that list, I could choose a segment inside the list, but there are no segments in there at the moment. If I want to add any other lists at this time, I can click on this and click on Add New and or Segment, New List and or Segment, and what it will do is it will add all of the recipients from multiple lists together. It will eliminate duplicates, and then you will end up with one merged list. It doesn't actually leave individuals where they were because the suggestion here is that each one of our lists has been already segmented to interests and desires and specific topics. If we combine them together, we end up just muddling the segmentation. So my suggestion is if you do combine lists and you do it repetitively, that you might create a brand new list that has all those individuals copied into it, and then when someone opts out of that list, they actually come directly out of this special list that you've already created. But in the meantime, you can just add them as you need to. Click Save and Next. From there, we just want to put in who it's going, who it's from and who it's going to, and what the subject line is. And the subject line for this is just going to be this is a test of a regular campaign. And then remember what we said before in the Q&A. If we have open tracking, yes, we want to track that. Do we want to track what they click on? The answer is yes, absolutely. And most times you do. We don't have any feeds that we're trying to implement here, and I can show you how to do that later. Maximum number of subscribers. If you want to try to limit the number that this goes out to all at once, you can. You can say, I just want 500 out of this list, and then you can also even randomize who they come from. And then if you want to email the stats back when it's complete, you can just put in an email address to do that. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then this is the pre-header. This is that section which we covered in the Q&A that provides you, if you're on a mobile device or you're using Google Mail or Gmail, it provides that little blurb that could be the hook for people to open up. Okay, and so this, if you're trying all kinds of auto responders, this might be the one you need. And then if I have any actions I want to take against the subscribers upon opening, I can click on Add Action, and for instance I can copy them or move them to a particular list just when they open it. This is them opening it, and this is for a way for you to be able to segment based on activity. If you want someone to be put onto a specific list because they opened it, or you want to send them through a progression of different messages, you can create different email lists. Like you have a list for message 1, message 2, message 3, message 4. You could actually see where they all are in the process if you choose to do that. You can either copy them onto a list or you can move them. And then you just pick the list that you want them into, and then you're good to go. We can go, then we click on the campaign server. And you can click more than one. So if you have multiple servers set up and you're trying to, say, optimize all of the free deliveries that you can get, you can just click all of those that are associated to the same business. And then based on the priority that you set when you set up your delivery services, it will go ahead and rotate through those delivery services and preserve your free sending. So click Save and Next, and then we go right to the campaign template. The campaign template is the actual work here that we're gonna be sending, and it's easiest for me. I just open up the email builder, and I start to drag and drop what I'm really after, right? And so I can drag and drop an image at the top and some text in there. I might even want a title in there, and then let's say I want a series of images and text, and there we go. Okay, so that's what I want, and then I can always change this when I go back into the message. So I'm going to save it and I'm going to close, and when I close it, I'm back in here in the editor. If I want to change this, I just double click on it and I put in the URL for the picture itself, and I can just click in here and make the edits to the text that I'm after. Same is true with these images and this text. We are going to need at the bottom of all of this, we're going to need to have the fields for your company name and an unsubscribe. And so the easiest way to do that, if you don't remember what the tags are, you should be able to click on this tag, and it's the unsubscribe URL is the tag you're after for unsubscribe. You can add it anywhere, and let's say I want to just add it in here. I'm going to put in the words unsubscribe, and then I'm going to add a link to that. I'm going to click on this and choose the URL just like that, and then I want the full company information because that is canned spam information, and so that's company full address. I'm going to close that, and that will be based on the delivery server. It will automatically fill that in. And so now I have my message that I want to go out. Anytime I want to send a test to make sure that I have it just the way I want it, I'm going to save the template changes, and then I'm going to test the template. See where it says test template, and I can send that to any email address that I have access to, so that I know that it's going to come out like it's supposed to. Okay, and so it's sending now, and then while it's sending, I'm going to go ahead and go back down here, and I'm going to add a link inside the message just so that you can see what else you can do here real quick. If I wanted this to go to example.com, for instance, and oh, you know what? Let's do this. Someone asked me a question earlier, how to do a sort of a quiz. So if I had example.com and then ID equals 1, this little question mark in ID equals 1 does not matter to the URL. Let me see if I can actually go to example.com / ID equals 1. And so you see it doesn't change the display of the screen. It could be ID1, it could be ID2, it could be ID3, doesn't really matter. So I'm going to set up ID1, and then I'm going to do another one that's ID2. I'm going to show you how you can actually tell when someone clicks on example.com ID equals 2. Okay, so click OK, and now I have two links. I'm going to save the changes, and as soon as I save the changes, I'm going to then get some links down here at the bottom that I can now start to segment. So I can change the subscriber custom field based on a link click, or I can do an action on a link click. And so let's say I want to add someone to a different list based on what they clicked on. If I click Add Action, the URL is either ID1 or ID2. So if you get the idea, this could be like a quiz. Vote for the best dog on the planet, and you could have poodles, and you could have Pomeranians, and you could have, I don't know, Huskies, and each one of them has a different ID. All of them go to the same page. They can go to a thank you page. Thanks for your input. And as soon as you know which of those two links that was clicked on, then you can either copy them or move them to a specific list. And so you can just copy and then choose what list they're on, and boom, you've automatically segmented them based on their behavior. And this is in a broadcast, so it doesn't matter whether or not you're a nonprofit organization and you're trying to figure out whether somebody's interested in being a donor, a volunteer, or needs the services, or if you're a physical business. This could be that somebody's interested in specials. It could be that they're interested in a certain category of product or service. And then same is true with online interests or online sales. Who knows? You could even be promoting specific articles that have been written, and you want to know what the user likes as far as the type of article. You can simply click in, have a unique URL in each one of these, and you can track them down, and not just track them down, but actually move them to a specific list. Or copy them to a list, or you could add a field. You could add a custom field code. You could type in their customer that they're interested in dogs, or they're interested in Pomeranians in particular, and then you could segment the list based on what it is they like or don't like. And so I'm hopeful that helps. We should be able to go to an inbox now and see the test. And so here's my test. And so this is exactly what it looks like in the test. And it did exactly what we wanted to do. There's a little unsubscribe in here, company information, and then my URL. So it's all exactly as we expected, which is amazing, and makes it super simple, right? And then we can click Save and Next. And as soon as we click Save and Next, we have our last bit of settings here. If you don't change this send to at value, it's going to send it right away. All right, so you don't have to worry about scheduling it for the future or anything else. You can just send it the way it is, and it will go as soon as it gets queued up. However, if you do have a specific date, let's say you're doing a promotion and it's starting over the weekend, and you want to promote it on a Thursday night so that everybody's ready, or you're launching a product and you want to be able to announce it an hour ahead or something, you can set the specific time based on your account's time zone. This is your account's time zone, so make sure that you really understand how that works with the promotion that you're making. Okay, and then you can also do it in recurring. So for instance, if you have the same message that you want to go out every week or every month or every 6 weeks, you can set it up as an advanced recurring, and you just choose this and tell it whether it's every day, every hour, every month, every week, and then what time and what day, and you're good to go. Okay, so that gives you the recurring availability. And then you can also just set it to only send. Okay, so you'll see here, send this campaign only to subscribers that have opened or have not opened a certain campaign as follows. So let's say you're trying to get someone's attention and they haven't opened something. Then you can say, well, if they have unopened in the following campaign, and you just go pick the one you want that has gone already out to that list, it will only send this message to those people. If you don't pick anything, it'll send out to everyone. Okay. Last item is to check your spam score. And you click on that and run out and go do a spam check. And then when it comes back, it'll tell you my spam score is 0 compared to 0 to 5, 0 being least flagged for spam, 5 being the most flagged for spam. And then I click on Send Campaign, and as soon as I do, it is off and you are good to go. As soon as that happens, as soon as it gets delivered, you'll get an email in your inbox that tells you the status of the delivery, and then you can always come back into it after it sends it, and you can click on this little information icon, and it gives you an overview of the campaign. Once the campaign's been sent out, you can see all of the pertinent information in the very beginning. How many, was it all sent out together at once? What was the open rate? What was the click-through rate? What are the bounce rates? What is the unsubscribe rate? And then who opened it? What was actually clicked? And then you can go down here into the activity map and see who, when it was opened, when it was clicked, or who, where it was opened, where it was clicked, or where it was subscribed. All of this comes from the IP address that is used when someone opens the email through their internet connection. So that should give you the regular broadcast campaign. And if you have any questions, hit up support, and we'd be happy to take care of you. Take care.